Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Arcanum. Mr. Drake is all set to deliver the ceremonial dagger to the Mayor of Blackroot, so... It's nice to meet you again. I've retrieved your dagger, sir. Excellent. Give it to me and I'll have the thieves arrested at once. Your guards can't even protect you from petty thieves. Your point is well taken, but what would you have me do? Why don't you give me the taxes and align yourself with Cumbria? Very well, I accept your proposal, if you return the dagger to me. Very well, here's your dagger, sir. Thank you, Robert Drake. Your resourcefulness amazes me. You have my gratitude. Alright, so he's been given the taxes that were owed to King Preetor, and he successfully brought Blackroot back into the fold and safely under the rule of Cumbria once again. So all that remains is to return the taxes to King Preetor and hopefully help Dante get reinstated to his former position as head priest in Cumbria. So all that remains here is to find Arthur Tyron for Sir Matt Desazar, and Drake has no idea where to start looking, so he's just sort of wandering around the streets randomly. And as he makes his way past this house, he notices a woman with a very sad face pressed up against the window, looking out expectantly, only to turn away when Mr. Drake passes. So, being a typical nosy do-gooder, he thinks something might be amiss, and he goes in the house to see if there's anything that he can do. Are you needing me? I'm pleased to meet you, good woman. Might I ask your name? I'm Mrs. Cameron, stranger. You appear to be well-traveled. Tell me, have you seen my son? Your son? Who's your son? Liam. My son is Liam Cameron, the inventor. I haven't seen him in nearly 2 months. It's just so unlike him. I was wondering if you passed by his workshop on your travels. His workshop? I'm afraid I must have come by a different route. He's a tinkerer, like his father before him, always working on some new gadget. He built himself a workshop about 3 days' travel into the woods so he wouldn't be disturbed. And he's missing, you say? Well, his normal routine was to trek back here once a month to visit me and stock up on supplies. Yet it's been nearly 2 and I haven't heard a thing. What with the strange happenings going on in the woods, I'm very worried. What strange happenings? Oh, yes. Strange beasts have been spotted all over the woods, all different types, and not just an odd sighting either. A couple of town folks have actually been killed. It's quite alarming. I was so hoping you would have news of Liam. Would you like me to, see if I could find him? Would you? I'd be so grateful. I realize it's a mother's place to worry, but this is so unlike Liam. I'd appreciate any attempt you could make to locate him. Sure, just mark on my map where his workshop is, please. Oh, it's here. Okay, I'll bring you any news, should I find out anything. Alright, so Mr. Drake is going to try to help out Mrs. Cameron, finding her son Liam. So he'll make his way out of town, and she said that there are all manner of beasts roaming the woods, so he's going to gear himself up for any sort of confrontation. So he'll make his way out of town. The reason I have to run out of town is because in order to access the fast travel map, you have to run you have to run away from a town until you get a blue globe on the map token there. So, and as he's passing these outlying shacks, he notices the door to one is ajar, so he goes in, and there's no one in here, but there is a note lying on the floor. And it says, the crow is in danger, and it's signed by Tyron. So he thinks he hasn't found Arthur Tyron, but he has found some trace of him. So he's going to have to take that back to Sir Matt Desazar and see what Desazar wants to do from there. But first he has to head out to Liam's workshop. So here we go, there's the blue globe up. And Liam's workshop is, I'm just going to fast travel there, so I'll go ahead and pause it and be back in a second. Alright, and we're back. Mr. Drake has reached Liam's workshop, out in the middle of nowhere. And there doesn't appear to be anyone here, so that's not a good sign. Go ahead and check the dresser, and inside he finds Liam's journal. And this just details how, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but it just details how Liam was working on his latest invention out at the workshop, and then became aware that there were lots of hostile creatures, and they were all, the source of them was a portal that had somehow opened in the middle of the woods. So Liam made some sort of magical device to close the portal, and his last entry was that he was going to set out and try to use it. So let's go ahead and get Gar to, let's go ahead and get him to bash this locked chest. Get everyone else to back off.
Sure, I'll do it right away.
Okay, and we can see what's inside. I do enjoy the grunting noises that characters make as they exert themselves. Alright, so he's done, and of course somebody runs over and picks it up before Mr. Drake has a chance to. Alright, let's see what that was. So there's some gold. There are some healing items for tech characters. That'll be useful for Magnus. And there's a scroll of disperse magic. Now what Dante picked up the magical trap. So there's a magical trap that tech characters can use to close the portal, and there's this scroll of disperse magic for magical characters. So all characters have a way to close the portal. Alright, so Mr. Drake will just set off down the path and see if he can hopefully find Liam alive, but if not, make sure that he actually closed this portal, or close it himself. And then it just winds around farther into the woods. So he just takes a scenic walk right into the waiting arms of horrible creatures, which we should be meeting somewhat soon. And actually, shield of protection would not be a bad idea. Here's one. It's a lesser void lizard. Level 15 shouldn't be that bad. Everyone else is running in. Everybody's kind of lagged behind a bit, so... Alright, and that takes care of that one. And now Mr. Drake is confronted by some sort of floating jellyfish, which is called an Araya slave. And it goes down pretty easily. And, oh, up ahead Mr. Drake sees a corpse lying on the side of the road. So this isn't a very good sign. It's also not a very good sign that this void lizard is hitting Drake for almost half of his health. Okay, and he goes down. And this is the body of Liam Cameron. He's carrying a couple of potions of cure poison, an axe, and another one of these magical traps. Now Drake is going to use the scroll on the portal. So Liam wasn't able to close it. And here's the portal right here. And creatures will continuously spill out from it. You can grind as many levels as you want. It's actually not that difficult. I almost always don't do that because I find grinding to be very tedious, and I try to avoid it whenever possible. And of course Drake just wants to close this thing, so he'll go ahead and use the scroll on the portal. The portal immediately closes, and all the creatures are going to die. I think. They should. Maybe not. Yeah, there we go. And they're all dead. Alright. So, I'm going to pause it quickly, and when we return, Mr. Drake will be back in Blackroot to deliver the bad news to Liam's mother. So, be back in a second again. And we're back. Mr. Drake is getting ready to tell Liam's mother the bad news. To what do I owe this pleasure? I have news of Liam, Mrs. Cameron. What news? Where is he? I'm sorry, he was killed by one of the beasts roaming the forest. Oh no, my poor baby. I'm all alone. I have no one left. No one. He died trying to stop the creatures. He was a hero. But they killed him and they still roam. His death was in vain. No, not in vain. It was his creation that enabled me to stop them. Truly, his death was not in vain? If not for your son, the city would have been overrun by beasts. I'll miss him. At least his death was not in vain. Here, I found his journal at the workshop. He wanted you to have it. Thank you. Thank you for taking such risks to bring this to me. Here, take this dagger, a small token of my gratitude. Thank you. I'm sorry for your loss. Goodbye. Alright, so, Mr. Drake has, given her the sad news about her son. As a reward, to show her gratitude, she gave him a magical dagger, a mage's dagger. It does slight damage. The real bonus is that it increases a character's fatigue level, so he can cast more spells if he chooses to use it. Mr. Drake also got enough experience to level up, so I'll drop his new point into willpower. It's now 12. That means on his next level up he can buy the rank 3 spell Hasten from the Temporal College. Alright, I'm going to pause once again, and when we return this time, we'll be back in Durnholm in the court of King Praetor to return his taxes. So, be right back yet again. And we're back yet again. Mr. Drake is ready to deliver the taxes. How dare you bring this revolutionary back into my lands? Guards, arrest this man! He points at Dante. He only wishes to serve you again, your majesty. He speaks the truth, my lord. Spineless dog. I'll tolerate your presence only as long as your master is here to speak for you. Now, what have you to tell me? I've brought you your taxes, sir. Please give them to me. Here you are. Excellent. Thank you for retrieving the taxes, and here's your share. Your Majesty, Dante was instrumental in retrieving the taxes. He was he? I suppose I was wrong about you, Dante. You're welcome to return to my service if you're still willing. Dante, this is what you wanted, was it not? Yes, this is where my home is. I'm grateful for your help in enabling me to return to the service of my beloved Cumbria once again. Perhaps I'll see you again someday, then. If that is all, I must get back to my business. I do have a kingdom to run, after all. Surely there must be other tasks, for a humble servant. There is something of a personal nature. Such as? No, this is an internal matter. I'll find another way. Perhaps I could use your services at a later date, though. Until then. Alright, so Mr. Drake, makes a mental note that Praetor might have some work for him in the future, and says farewell to Dante, who's been reinstated to his position, and makes his way out of the castle, and out of Durnholm for quite some time. So, when we return, Mr. Drake is about to level up, but hasn't quite yet. When we return, Mr. Drake will be back in Toronto. He's going to tell Sir Matt Desazar that he wasn't able to find Arthur Tyron, but was able to find apparently a note written by him with some sort of cryptic message on it. And he'll also do a few other tasks around Toronto in preparation for setting out for the Black Mountain Mines. So, as always, thank you for watching, and please